Crafty friends, Paper Chef here. Welcome to a fun-filled evening of Halloween crafting using our brother's ScanNCut. My name is Kimberly Smith. I'm the Paper Chef, and I'm also a U.S. Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And this paper that we have out right now this season, little wobble spring here, is so adorable. I thought we'd cut some of these little sketches out of the spooky sweet Halloween, and then I would show you how to make some tags. So we're going to make these tags using your ScanNCut. Now, first tag you make is going to have a bigger hole, and then I'm going to show you how to adjust that. I want to show you how simple the project is, and then how to do different adjustments to your project to customize it as your own. So these little tags, I made them just perfect size to fit on our new iridescent treat bags. So pretty much I'm using almost everything in the suite except for the dies today because we have a ScanNCut. I've already done this part. I'm using the spooky Halloween sentiments on these projects. You're also going to learn how to do this. You're going to learn how to cut out the pattern paper and layer it behind. You're not making a box tonight. I'll do that on my channel separately. How to make this petunia pop box. But we're using this paper, the spooky sweet, or actually it says something else on the package, but it's the spooky sweet Halloween paper. I have this one ready for my kit. I can show you a couple pieces of it, but just the products I'm using, these are awesome. There's a whole suite of products. Iridescent treat bags. Okay, petunia pop iridescent ribbon. These little star sentiments. The designer series paper, the stamp set, and the dies. So there's all kinds of stuff in this Halloween suite. Here it is. This is the right package. Spooky Halloween specialty paper. So this paper has this piece with the little spooky windows, and it has this petunia pop piece. Some card backgrounds. And then there's like ephemera in here. See the ephemera that you can just pop out. And then you could layer these with your ScanNCut, these pieces of ephemera. But the piece I'm using, and the reason I can't open this, I mean, I could open it, but I've used a bunch of other pieces. In fact, after this, I'll show you what we've been making in our Halloween workshop series. Because this, for the next couple months, for the months of August and September, I'm doing a spooky Halloween workshop series. And I'll show you some more Halloween projects that I made without the ScanNCut. But I thought I would do some with this paper here, because this paper, I got a lot of stuff stuck on my mat. This paper here is just so cute and easy to cut out. Plus, there's no dies for this paper. So I didn't need to use the pencil trick. Just wanted to tell you. But if you do need to use it, the way the pencil trick works is, I mean, it can't hurt to use it. Let's put it that way. You know, it's going to help a little bit if you fill in these little gaps. Okay, so you're going to close in any little gaps. These are line sketches, so they're not all closed in. However, it recognized these gaps were not very big, and it did recognize it for me. Let me just see if I have a... So you want to use, if you're going to use... Let me just erase that. When you erase, don't erase with the red eraser. You erase with a white eraser. So anyway, this helps a little bit. And I want to cut out this little guy. We'll cut out a few just right up here. We're not going to cut out the whole paper. But we want a flamingo, this little guy with the bat, this little bat with the little ghost on him, the crow. Okay, we just want a couple things. And I'll show you how to select just a couple things. So anyway, that's the paper. The other side is also adorable. I'm going to turn out the overhead light to let us see better. I'm using this STX 125 or ScanNCut 125 STX 125E. They both work the same way. But if you're using a ScanNCut CM350 or whatever, you're going to still do the same thing I'm doing. You're just going to have to set your blade depth. That's the only difference. Okay, let's find the stylus. I just had the stylus. I hear it. I hear it. Didn't you hear that noise? It was like right here. I moved it, and then I heard the stylus. Where, oh, where did my stylus go? Oh, where? All right, here it is. Here it is. Good thing I got a little holder. All right, so now, like I said, because, okay, when you have it out, oh, this is only if you're filming, okay? Those of you that do films, okay? Like, when you have a light like this coming in the side, it's going to mess up your scans. So turn off your side lights, but you can still keep on the light on the ceiling. Okay, you can still keep on the overhead light. That's fine. All right, so when we turn on our machine, we see pattern and scan. We're going to select scan. The reason we're selecting scan is because we're scanning in pattern paper. We're not using something out of the patterns just yet, but we will when we make the tag. So let's just use the scan for now. And we're going to use direct cut because we're directly cutting out these images. Think of getting a pair of scissors and directly cutting out something. That's what we're doing right now. We're directly cutting out the critters. The next question is, where do you want to save the information? We want to save it to our machine. You could save it to the cloud if you're set up that way. If your machine's telling you to do an update right now, you're going to have to do that before you can follow along. I've already done my update and it restarted my machine. Okay, so just so you know that. Now you can select at this point, after you click OK, you can go in here and you can say that you just want to scan in the top part of the mat. This is not an option in the CM model, but I like using this option. It scans in just the top half of the mat, saving me lots of time. Because I only want a few of these little critters to show you what to do. Because the point is of this tutorial in particular is we want to do a full project. I want to show you start to finish how to create the tag and the critter to put on the tag. So I'm going to select 12 by 6. Again, you don't need to do that. You could scan the whole mat. I'm going to click, we want to start it and scan in the top half of the mat. It just, again, saves time. If you end up having to scan in your whole mat, go ahead and cut out your whole bunch of images at the same time. Never hurts, right? Now, because I put those little lines on there to help enclose the gaps, it usually gives me a better outline of the images. So you might be thinking, Paper Chef, this is a hot mess. What's going on with your mat? Over here, what's going on is there's a lot of dirt on my mat and lots of fibers from that piece of black that I was cutting earlier. So we want to make a selection to get rid of some of that stuff. So that's the first way to get rid of the things that we don't want, the unwanted objects. Another way to get rid of the unwanted objects that you don't want to scan in and cut is using ignore object size. Let's ignore and watch them disappear, but we don't want to ignore the very thing we're trying to cut out. So if you ignore things too big, these little crows are going to disappear, as you can see. I'm just going to go with about 0.75. So now the third way to get rid of things after we say OK is just to edit them out. I still need to edit them out, meaning I'm going to get rid of the stray bits that got scanned in. So click here. We don't want to edit out that crow or that crow, but these pieces over here are not fully pieces that I want to cut out. That's just dirt on my mat. All right, so there we want to get rid of all them, and it looks like there's a piece right up there. I can toggle around, make a selection. Oops, I don't want to get rid of that, but it does have a little thing hanging on it there. For some reason, that one actually has extra stuff scanned all around it. And I'm going to just let it go, and we'll trim it off with scissors, but it's okay. Now this one, the bandit meaning it got cut in half. So we're going to get rid of that whole thing, and this one too. So these are not fully outlined. That means you need to go back and do the pencil trick. What that means right now is if I cut this little image out, hold on, let's get it back. I can tell right now that the whole ghost is going to be cut off. You can see there's a black line. That means this piece is going to be separated. So I didn't really color in that gap. So we want to get rid of that. It'll save us time anyway. And we want to get rid of this one. It doesn't mean we're not going to cut them out later. We're just going to cut them out, later when we fix some things. Now let's go here and put an outline distance of 0.04. 0.04 outline distance will give us that cute little white image around your pattern. All right, we're going to say okay. If it does a little bit of ragginess here, it's because this wasn't all the way closed in. Oh, after we say okay, we say select and we say cut. You can watch this again later and you can get all of the tips and tricks that you need. This is a review. I do this a lot on my channel, cutting out pattern paper. There's probably hundreds of these tutorials over the years. They all work the same way, except sometimes you need the pencil trick. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you need color recognition mode. Sometimes you don't. So now that it's done scanning and recognizing, I can turn on my outer light again. Doesn't matter because I'm already done the scanning and it should be aligned just fine. So it looks pretty good. And the reason we're putting that white distance around it is if we didn't put a little white distance around it, like these little legs could get cut off. It would just not give us enough outline to work with things. And I know already that that one little piece didn't cut out right, so I'm going to have to trim that little guy. Has a little extra raggediness that got scanned in. I'm saving these for later, these ones down here, and we're going to cut them out later. So while you're doing that, or while I'm doing that, I can get a piece of black cardstock because I want to do some extra things with this, such as cutting out, I'm just cutting out some extra paper, such as cutting out the extra little outlines around these critters. So I need some extra black, I need some black cardstock to make a little outline around the critters. All right, it's saying that it got stuck. Let's do some live troubleshooting. All right, the reason it got stuck is it's saying that this paper is thick. It's not thick, obviously. It's just designer series paper, but it thinks it is. So I'm going to go around to the side and go ahead and flip it up to number 2 and let it do its thing. It somehow thinks I have some thick paper because there's some goo it got stuck on. I recently restuck my mat, and I did a little video about how, well, actually, hubby restuck my mats. And I did a little video about that. And I have many videos about maintaining your machine on this channel. But anywho, it found some little bit of goo, and then it thought it was thicker. And instead of restarting over, I'd rather just continue with letting it think it's thick and finishing up its last bits it needs to do. If it starts trying to cut twice, I will stop it and say, no way, Jose, we're not cutting twice. Okay, so we're going to only cut once. We're only cutting this once. All right, it's going, it's going, it's going. Almost done. All right. Pretty good, pretty good. All right, let's see. Now we want to get this, we leave the mat in place, peel up the paper, and we're just going to pull off the ones that we cut out. It did a pretty good job. And you want to get up in there with your spatula and get that. Now this one, I already knew it was going to cut that extra little piece there, which is fine. And you're just going to be delicate when you get these off. And all you're going to do, you're not going to fret. You're not going to say it didn't do a good job. It did a fantastic job. It saved you oodles and oodles of time. And all you need to do is, you just need to do this. I'm just going to cut this little piece off. Just going to go in there, outline the wing. See? Done. And then you need to do this a little bit. Okay. And done. All right, that's it for that one. And then this one is already ready to go. He cut out perfectly. And then you just want to erase. We didn't need any pencil marks for the crow. I don't remember if I did a pencil mark for him. This is a cute little one. Here's a good one. We'll outline this one because that's a really clean cut. And then I could show you how to outline. Just outline a couple of them. He's cute as well. We're not outlining this one because this one was like a hot mess with the extra little things. But isn't that fantastic? So now we have little cute things for our tags. And we got them off. And they're already ready to go. We can put them on wobble springs. And we can... Wobble springs are these like little... Where's my tag? These are just little springs that make your little things wobble. Oh, how fun. Oh, how fun. Or we can outline them. So let's use the black paper to outline them. And let's put them off to the side for a moment and bring back the machine. Again, you can keep your light on for this part because it doesn't matter. All we're doing is going back. And we're going to just go back one step. And we're going to click on this outline. Well, actually, let's edit out. Let's edit out. Oops, not that one. Let's edit out what we don't want. I don't want the crows. I don't want this flamingo dancing in his little Halloween costume. Let's get rid of all the crows. We're just outlining a few things. In fact, this one, if I recall, it cut the pumpkin a little funny. So I'm not going to go ahead and outline that one because my pumpkin cut a little funny. So we're just going to go ahead and do it to these 3. So we have 3 little critters that I like, and we're going to click OK. And instead of a 0.04 outline distance, the thing that gave us this beautiful white outline around the sketched image, instead of doing that, we want to go up to 0.08. 0.08 is going to give us this beautiful outlined image. I just want to show you the visual. Look at how nice that is when it outlines it with another layer. You don't have to use black, but I'm using black and it is very fibrous, just so you know. Now I'm going to select cut and I need to put the paper on here. Now, when I put the paper on here, I'm going to hit start up there, but I need to put the paper in the same spot as the little critters were. Okay, so remember this. Let's just move these over here. We had this piece of designer series paper, right? It was sitting on the mat like this. Be sure you don't put your like paper down here or over here. You have to, in order to make your perfect little outlines, you need to put it in the general vicinity, like right around here, of where these critters were, okay? Because otherwise, it's not gonna help us. We need, I mean, we wanna make outlines, but we wanna make them in the place where the paper is. So I still have I didn't have to set my lever to 2. It's still set on 2. I could have set my lever back to 1. It really doesn't matter. And again, our light doesn't matter for this either. Yeah, so Lynn, how to do the flamingo was you definitely want to use that pencil trick, and we're going to erase any stray marks we have on that flamingo. If the first one I didn't even have me cut off the extra little nib, just so you know. So sometimes that little thing happens where you had to cut off the extra little nib, and sometimes you don't. Every single time you cut them, they cut out just slightly different. Look at the way the neck cut out. See, just slightly different every time. They're still beautiful. And of course, we're gonna make them sparkle. All right, it thinks it's trying to do something twice, I think, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stop. Well, you don't have to stop it, but what it's doing is it's cutting twice because I set my lever on 2, and it thinks I have thick paper, which I don't. But either way, it's actually good for me because they'll come off easier. So we pull off our black paper. We set them in the right spot. It is very fibrous, this paper. So remember, that means that it's going to get, because it's fibrous, it makes little humps that sometimes make your ScanNCut think you have thick paper under there. These are humps that sometimes the blade goes over and says, "Oh, I got thicker paper," but it really doesn't. It's not really thick. Now watch this. The beauty of this is this. We're gonna put this here, and we're gonna put it on the outline. Isn't that beautiful? Nothing extra needed. Just throw some dimensionals on there, and you have a beautiful 3D item. A 3D embellishment that's multi-layered. And dies can't do that, guys. Metal dies cannot do that unless you got multi-layered metal dies. But I mean, pretty much, this is something that is, great for the ScanNCut to do. Ooh, we have a cute embellishment. And now for these two, we did cut out 2 of these little outlines, and they are a little different because every time you scan, something's different. So we have one here, and we have one here. So we just want to match them up. Now, you might be saying they're the same thing. How can you match them up? Well, sometimes they're the same thing, but one has, I could tell this one goes with this one. Wait, no, maybe not. I think that might go with that one. It really just, there's only slight variations, but sometimes it was this one. Because the reason is there's a little nib on the head, and there's just slight variations, like one will match better with the other. And it doesn't really matter. There's a little nib hanging off the bottom because they're close enough, but I just like to match up the exact one. And I like to, sometimes if I have a lot of embellishments, when I take them off the mat, I keep them in the same spot. Like I might take this one off and go, okay, that was the little pig in the bad outfit on the left, and this was the pig in the bad outfit on the right. Oh yeah, look at that. See that little, here, look at this. You could tell they go together because look at the little bit on the bottom there. They match up. I'm using regular Stampin' dimensionals. You can use the mini Stampin' dimensionals as well. So now we have a multi-dimensional, multi-layered critters to put on our projects. And we have little crows and we have little things. And now we want to take, so for this part of the project, we're just going to take, yeah, you can outline it with orange. Good. Caroline, yes, outline it with orange. They'd be looking great too. I'm just using cardstock because when I use my wobble springs, I used it on a designer series paper earlier and it looked just, oh, this one's not good. It looked just better on cardstock. Let me grab one real quick. I finished mailing out all but 2 of the Halloween kits, guys, the Halloween kits. Here you go, this one. I'm gonna get out the, ooh, let's see if there's one that's open. All right, they're not open, but I want to take out. we're going to take out one of these wobble springs out of my kit. I get these at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and you can actually, they're on my Amazon store too, so please use links to my Amazon store in the description of this video. But anyway, now we're going to do Wink of Stella. So I took a better one. And they would look great with different colors, outlined in different colors. And I love these little sketches. It looks like we did it ourselves, you know, like all the cute little sketching. But it was one of the artists at Stampin' Up. They do a great job making new kinds of paper each year for us. Whoops. Holy moly, that came out a lot of glitter. So now I need to share the glitter. Lots of glitter fell out on that. Oh, I forgot to erase the marks, so they're going to stay. I usually erase all my pencil marks. But I really hardly used any pencil marks, so it's all good. And actually, in this case, the pencil marks look like they go with it. So it actually looks really natural. All right. Let's just see, this one has a lot of extra glitter on it. Because when you squeeze the Wink of Stella, it comes out all over the place. But it kind of came out nice, except it makes the paper all soggy when you put too much glitter on it. My friend Joanne used to send us cards for every holiday with like glittered critters. And I was like, oh my God, they make me so happy. I've been putting glitter on everything too. I just love the way it looks. All right, so there we go. Now we have part 1 of our project done. Now for part 2 of our project, and let me just finish this crow. Okay, part 2 is going to be using the built-in patterns on your machine. Okay, last thing I want to say about this before I read some comments is I want to say that if you happen to have a CM350 or a ScanNCut 2 and you're not using the STX machine like I have, this has an auto blade on it, then you need to set your blade depth. So you're not going to set a blade depth for a STX model like I'm using. Then let me find... I'm just seeing if I have a blade in here. I can show you an example of a blade. Okay, here we go. So if you're using a different, say you're using a ScanNCut 2 or CM350, then what you're going to do is you're going to just turn it up to the top, right? Turn it up to 12, and then turn it back down to 3. When you're cutting designer series paper, your blade depth of 3. The only other blade depth you'll need for this tutorial is going to be, for the cardstock, you're going to need a blade depth of 5 when you cut Stampin' Up! Cardstock. Also remember to set your lever back down to number 1 because you are not using thick materials, so you can be a number 1. All right, so we're taking out a whole piece of basic black for this. And we'll make some tags. Yeah, is there really such a thing as too much glitter? No, there's not. Debbie Salinas, thank you for being a channel member, card club member, and all the things. Hello, Celeste, nice to see you. Van Sickle, love your last name. Hello, Phil. How are you again? Glad you're back. Hello, Robbie Landon. And Leslie Annabelle Outback Stamping. Okay, let's see. And now, okay, she's saying a third outline with the orange. Okay. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, I could do that real quick, Caroline. It's no big deal. As long as it's still on the screen, we can still do it. And I have lots of paper, so I'm going to do that for you. I think you are right, and I absolutely agree with you. All right, she's saying, what Caroline's saying is do another outline with the orange. So we need to go back 1 level, and we're going to go like this. And instead of 0.08, we're going to do 0.12. That's a third outline, and we're going to do a third outline in orange. The only caveat to this is if you go too far out, like I can't do a 4th outline because they're starting to merge together. They're starting to touch, right? So we had to do only 3 outlines. You can't, if I were to do a third, or not 3 outlines, 2 more outlines in addition to the main image. If I was to do another outline, then they would cut each other off, the paper. Like one little guy would slam into the other guy, and then you'd have a piece of the image cut off. But let's see how cute they look. And we're going to know which one's which because this little guy has the one with the little toenail. Oh, no, they both have a little toenail. Okay, one of them has more of a nick on the ear. That's kind of how I tell them apart. Which little piggy is which. But either way, it doesn't matter because they're pretty close. So we're putting a third outline on our critters. And that'll really help, especially when you use like a wobble spring or something. All right. Now for these, because I don't want to weigh them too much. So let's put this one on here. Oh, it's looking good. You are right. Let's put it on the black part to show how cool those look. Let's find the spatula. Well, I had a spatula. We're using our fingernails when you can't find the spatula. Okay, that one is right like that. Now, I'm not going to put another set of dimensionals on it because the dimensionals make it, too tall. There comes a point where you can't even get the thing into the envelope. Right? So we're going to go like that. Just put some Seal Plus on there. Oops, let's see. That looks really good, and it's not too heavy because it's just DSP, and the cardstock makes it heavy, but the DSP doesn't. Ooh, beautiful. You're right. Another layer is always good. So now you learned another tip and trick. Bonus tip and trick. All right, let's match this guy. Nope. Let's see, I think. Okay, they both have the little thing on there, but I think this one goes with this one. It's very subtle differences. Yeah, the reason I think this one goes with this one is because the tail is truncated a little bit, or the cape on that side a little more. Just little details that you try to, fix. Now, again, you can't really go bigger than a 12 or say 0.112, 0.12, because if you go any bigger, they start to merge together. So you're not going to want to put another layer. This is enough layers. So this is what we've done so far today. We've cut out a flamingo. We've cut out these critters. We've cut out some crows. And we have glitter on our critters. So now we're going to make the tags. So let's put this, oops, we're going to put that right on our mat. All right. As I'm saying hi to you, how many of you attended my first 2 auctions? I've been having a blast, guys. I did 25 more orders, many more than that product, but 25 more orders of selling my used craft supplies. I don't know how long I could keep up the pace, but I'm going to do it every Friday at 3 o'clock. Okay, so this is a QR code. You'll get $15 coupon, and full disclosure, it's a referral link. So I get $5. I get to spend $5, and you get to spend $15. Now, you don't have to spend it with me, because if you're in another country, you can't spend it with me, but you can still join, and then you buy something in your country. But I can only sell to U.S. people, but it doesn't mean you can't go get a coupon and use it with someone else. So you just go get this app. It is pretty cool. All right, let me zoom into that. It's called Whatnot, because you sell whatnot, things and whatnot. So it's a live auction. I sold ink, designer series, paper, not anything current. I sold retired items. Ink, designer series, paper, bundles, punches, dies, stamp sets, all kinds of embellishments. It was so much fun. It's such a great way to sell used crafts. So first just join, and then if you want to become a seller, we'll talk you through how to do that. But that's more of a timely thing. Just want you to join and just join in once you join, you'll be friends with me. No, I didn't sell the wild wheat yet, I don't think. Did I? Let me look. It's been in... No, I think it's still there. I think it's been 2 auctions. We're going to have this ongoing joke about how I can't get rid of that color. I think it's still there. But this next time I have probably some other ink colors, other retired colors. I start at $5 for that. I'll give ink, a retired ink, a retired, what else? Let's see, a marker, a re-inker, and sometimes I even throw the blends in there, all for a $5 starting bid. And usually the people who win get it for like $6, $7. Yeah, no, right? That's right, Janet. I can't sell. Hey, but I sold my Wild Wheat cardstock. I did sell that, so that was good. Anyway, let me keep saying hi, and thank you, Janet, for being my moderator, and Amy, too, for being my moderator on this sales. Hello, Christina Fullen. I know you were there. Tracy Bletham, she had some fun buying some used craft supplies. Thank you, Christina, for being a channel member. I'm going to keep saying hi to you, but what I want to do now is go and show you how to make a tag. So it's going to be in two parts. First, because I want the project to be done, I want to show you how to just make a tag straight out of the machine and resize it. And then I want to show you some really cool tips and tricks if you stay around. Hello, Janet. Hello, Lynn. Hello, Rita Solar from Seattle. Nice to see you. Charlene, I sent you a prize today. Hello. Lynn loves the DSP. You won a prize for last month's team challenge. Okay, you figured out the flamingo. Debbie's a YouTube channel member. Love it. Hello, Caroline Lamit. You're the one that said to make the third. I agree with you completely that it needed a third layer of the pumpkin pie. And Debbie knows such thing as too much glitter. All right, so let's go like this. We're going to go back to the home. We're going to go here. Oops, I didn't mean that. We're going to go here. Just click the home button. All right, and delete all patterns. We're done with all that. Now I'm going to teach you how to make a built-in tag. A tag that's built in, meaning a built-in pattern. The first step is just we're going to make a tag. The first step is, it's in the second options. So let's go back. You're going to the beginning. You're going to pattern. And instead of picking the basic shapes, you're going to the second option. And we're going to pick a tag, and we're going to resize the tag to look cute on the bag, and we're going to cut it. And then I want anyone who stays around to do advanced welding, grouping, aligning. You're going to learn all kinds of stuff. Why do I want you to stick around? Because this tag, in my humble opinion, the hole is way too big. We're going to use number 2. We're going to use this pattern called AR-K002. Okay, well, if you don't mind writing that in, Janet usually writes stuff for me in the comments so we can find it later, and we'll put this in the description later. There's already stuff in the description links. Okay, AR-K002. The hole is like way too big for the proportion of this tag. But however, I want you to just be able to make a tag and have a quick win, right? So with that said, we're going to take this tag and just go ahead and make it, just go down here to make it about, just go down. We're using it as is, guys, as is. 3 point, this was my kind of perfect size, right here. 3.14. 3.14. I thought this was a perfect size, and you can tell me what you think for this bag. The bag, it fits the bag. It fits the, the tag fits the bag, the little iridescent treat bags. So we're going to say 3.14 by 1.59. We're going to visit this again, and we're going to put it on the mat. And set it on the mat. Just keep clicking. So there it is. Move it over to the right. And we're going to just go ahead and cut it. And then you're going to see what I'm talking about when I say that the hole is way too big. But we can fix it all right on our machine. So don't worry about, oops, got to take that out of the way. Don't worry about the fact that this hole is too big when you have this really cute ribbon. I've already used the gold. We'll use some silver to put through the hole. And you can actually tie several ribbons through the hole. However, if you're trying to use the little petunia pop that's part of the suite, this hole is going to be way too big. Or if you're trying to use, like, say, linen thread or something, the hole is way too big. So I made the hole much smaller. Okay, in relation. So let's show you what comes out. And you have a quick win, and we have a cute tag, and we're going to actually go ahead and make the tag, even though it's ridiculous. Whoever did this at Brother ScanNCut was probably some kind of engineer and not a crafter. Because the reason is, they're great engineers at Brother. They make great things. But okay, here's why. Look, here's a hole punch, and crafters would normally just be able to put something through with like a little hole like that. It's a ridiculous, oversized, unproportional hole. Ridiculous. Now, I want it to be bigger than that, though, because that's still too small, the hole punch. But what I'm saying is, in relation to the size of the tag, that hole is way too big. And you can see I made mine much smaller when I went. Okay. But either way, we're going to do a little fun stuff. We're going to twist this around. I'm just using some of the retired silver mesh ribbon, but we do have the gold one for sale right now. I'm just saving the little piece of gold for later. Okay, so there it is. You're going to still looks cute through there. And you can tie a couple more ribbons through there. We sell, as you can see, I don't know much more. We sell this one. It's called Gold. Let's see. Gold. Open weave trim. But the silver one used to be called like mesh. And my crafty friend sent me some when I said, I really love that. And they don't sell it anymore. And then I got some. You guys sent me some. So I was very happy. All right, so that's that. And we're going to put the critter on a wobble spring. Actually, we won't put that one on. We'll do the next one on a wobble. This one we'll just put on. Here, let me get rid of my hole punch. We're not using that. I'm going to use the ScanNCut. We're going to take, we won't use the wobble spring yet. We'll put him over there. We're just going to take one of our critters and put him on the tag. Here, that little guy. And let's see what else I could do, because it is such a big hole. It's such a big hole that I'm going to just get and put another little ribbon through there. Maybe even one of my little, yeah, I mean, it could fit you could put a spider ring through there. It's such a big hole. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put the spider ring. It's a glow-in-the-dark spider ring. You guys got these in your kit. So you can use them to decorate your bags with. You don't have to use them as little rings. So that'll be cute in there. All right. And then you get to tell someone it's glow-in-the-dark. And we'll put Petunia Pop on my next one. But I'm just trying to cover up that gigantic hole. Oh, these are my little stickers I put in your kit. Okay, we'll put that on the next one. We'll put that. All right, we need a sentiment. All right, I already have the sentiments already cut. So I didn't want to have to do the stamping part. All tricks, no treats. Now, the reason I like that one, but I do like to do a little color with it. I like that one because it's, it's just kind of to the point. All tricks, no treats. And we need some pumpkin pie. All right, the pumpkin pie, when you ink up something, you just put a little bit tap a little bit on there, right? On your stamping block, and then go like that. And then go like that. The blending brushes, current. The stamping block, current. The stamp set, current. So anything you want to buy from my store, go get some current stuff. Although I also sell retired stuff. And honestly, lately I've been making more money selling the retired stuff, but I do hope people are still going to buy my current stuff, or I will not be able to stay a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm just kidding. I'm going to stay because I'm my own best customer. All right, let's see. We're going to go like that. Close that. Now, sometimes I do a bunch of these, but I don't ink them up yet until I know what colors are going to coordinate. So in this case, I inked it up with pumpkin pie because it coordinates. So we're just going to put a little bit of a adhesive on there, and then you're done. And that's all you got to do. The full project. Those are going to stay around for the advanced lesson. I'm just putting a little bit of adhesive on there. All tricks, no treats. And sometimes I don't center it, but so sometimes it's better to stick it when you're looking at the back like that, because then you can center it better. All right. And then that little guy's already popped up, remember. We've already done the dimensionals in between a couple of the other layers. So we don't need to pop it up again. And we're not going to use a wobble spring on this one. We're just going to put it on like so. And he's stinking adorable. We have the cutest little Halloween tag. And you're going to put that on your bag, which we will stuff. And then you'll be done that project, and then I can show you part 2. All right, we're going to stuff it. We're going to get a iridescent treat bag. Okay, there are 20 in a package. And you can also emboss these. They're pretty cool. Okay, iridescent treat bag. And we're going to take some stuff. I don't know how my computer mouse came along. What is going on with this? I just grab a basket of stuff and somehow my computer mouse ended up in there. All right, we'll put some gummy bears in there. Oh, by the way, I put a toy in this one. I had like this really cool like bat toy. I don't have any more of them, but it's like it like sticks together like a little bracelet. It's really cute. Sometimes I need to kind of like fold my gummies you can put like a little bit of I'm not going to put that eyeball in there because it got squished somehow. Yeah, I sometimes like to put a little bit of grass in my bags, you know, just to kind of help fill the bags. All right, they stuff a little better. And then we'll put some mini Tic Tacs in there. I got some orange mini Tic Tacs. And we have here, we'll put a couple stickers. We got a jack-o'-lantern and a bat. And a little ghost. All right, what else here? We got a ginger chew. Because once I do this, I'm not opening them back up, guys. So that's why I'm just stuffing them the way I would stuff them. And here's a Werther's chocolate. All right, there's a witch's hat. That's good. All right, we're good. We got enough. I think we had enough treats in there. There's 4 treats and some stickers. Now we're going to go like that. And we can just tie. This tag has long enough where we could just tie it straight on. Or otherwise, I would use like the petunia pop and everything. But this one, we're going to just tie it straight on. Because it's long. But if it's not long, you would tie a ribbon. And then you would tie this onto it separately. I'm just going to go ahead and like that. I like it. I like it kind of like that. Hey, she got her package free from the first Whatnot auction. Yay. Because you used your coupon, right? So the tags are perfect. And you can't even tell the hole is too big. And you can use the gold ribbon and some twine and some petunia pop iridescent ribbon, which will, on the next bag, after I show you the smaller hole, we'll use some of that. All right, so that's how to do the entire tutorial from start to finish. You've now learned how to make the tag. You've learned how to put the tag on the bag, how to stuff the bag, how to cut out the little critter, how to layer the critters, okay? And now I'm going to show you something very useful. I think it's useful because it's a skill that you can learn that you're going to use again and again, and you could do it right on your machine, okay? It's called welding. We're going to be welding, and we're going to be grouping. The reason we have to weld. Okay, ready for the advance? And by the way, if anyone's leaving, just say goodbye. You're like, I got the rest. I don't want to do it in advance. My head's going to explode. Now, we can't use the word explode. You know, I'm just kidding. But anyway, if you need more help, stick around. If you're done and you understand it, then thank you. And I'm glad you were here tonight. We're going to do something where when we make this next tag, we need to get rid of this. And we can't just delete it. And I'm going to explain why. Okay, so it's part of this image. Okay, we can't just get rid of the circle. We have to do a little bit of trickery. Trickery. You have a large orange scrap in your ScanNCut. Oh, well, thank you, Kathy. Hey, Kathy just did some auctions too. Oh, I see it now. That would have been nice to get stuck in there. That's actually a crow. Thank you. A little glittered crow. He's in there. But thank you, Kathy. She just did a couple auctions, and so did my friend Amy. They both did a great job. I think Amy's up to 3, and you did your first one. So yay, more friends to follow once you join Whatnot. All right, hello, thank you, Salisa. All right, will the ScanNCut cut out a bat that has the scrapping tape on it? Yes. So if you want to put tape on your bat first, it'll cut it out, but it is going to give you a little glare and it might not be that easy. But it's better to maybe put the tape on afterwards. So Diana loves her package from the first auction. And thank you for the thumbs up and reminding everybody, Lynn, about the thumbs up. And Diana, I'm glad you appreciate me teaching this ScanNCut. This is going to be advanced, and I think you're going to really like this. You don't need the light off for this. I just think the light off will give you a better view of what I'm doing. Now, if you were to let's go start at the beginning. The very beginning of making a tag. If I were to go in here and get the pattern, and then we're going to go get a tag. It doesn't matter which tag I get. It's going to be the same concept. Say I get that same tag again. We'll just use the same tag for the sake of using the same tag. But these are cute as well. But in my opinion, those engineers put holes that are way, way, way too big. But let's go ahead and take that tag. So let's put it on the mat. I want to show you something because you might, I'm just going to go ahead and set it on the mat. You might just be saying, well, why don't you just like delete the hole? Just delete it, right? Go in there and delete the hole out and then make a new hole. Well, you can't because this is one object. Because it's part of the built-in pattern, it's one object. We can't just delete the hole. But we can do a little trick. Okay, I want to show you the trick. But before we do the trick, I want you to go into here. I want you to go to Object, Edit with your tag, and I want you to make it really big. And the reason I want you to make it really big is because it's so much easier to do this trick I'm showing you when this is super, super big. Maybe like 9 inches. Okay, let's just make it here. Go here, make it like 9 inches. And now you can see what I'm talking about. It's about the ridiculous size of the hole compared to the tag. It was like, I met the owner of a grocery store and I'm like telling him he needs Kalamata olives in his shelf. He must have been thinking that's just so random, right? Because like every time I go in there, there's no Kalamata olives. And I like them in my salad. But it was just funny. It's like if I meet the ScanNCut, like the CEO, I'm going to be like, the holes on your tags are too big. He's going to be like, what is she talking about? No, I'm going to tell him a lot more than that if I ever do meet anyone from Brother. All right. But anyhow, so let's talk about this. What we're going to do is we're just going to work with it while it's real big to make it easy to see. So click OK. Now click OK again until you get back to where it says add. Now what we're going to do, so you understand the big pictures, we're going to add a circle to that, over the top of that circle. So the concept is we need a circle that's bigger than that circle. Because if we're gonna weld this circle over the top of that circle, we need to go into the pattern and we need to get a circle that's bigger than the hole. And so we're gonna go get down here to the circles. We're in the shape part, not the pattern part. We're gonna grab a circle. Okay, and we're going to make it 1.25 inches. 1.25 inches. Da, 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 da. I hope you guys really like this little technique. All right, now we're going to set it on there. Now you see how it's bigger than this, but we still only have 2 objects. Do you see how that's bigger than the tag? The tag is still just one object. The circle is one object, but the circle is bigger than the tag. So you're going to take your circle and you're going to put it over the top of that hole. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get rid of the hole forever. We're trying to get rid of the hole that's big and we're going to replace it with a new one. So in order to do that, we need to weld this shape to that shape. We need to weld the tag to the hole. So we're just going to, for now, just say okay. Or actually just don't say okay. We're going to go back and we're going to go back to edit. And what we need to do is we need to select the tag and the hole. Okay, because we can't weld them together until they're selected. This is the selection tool, the one with the 3 little squares. And we're just going to use this button on the right called Select All. This is selecting everything on the screen. And now we only have 2 objects, the hole and the tag. Okay, I'm trying to be simple. I'm trying to make this simple, so I keep on repeating myself. It's part of my teaching method. It's not because I'm absent-minded. It's because it's part of my teaching method. You're going to go into Object Edit, and you're going to use the one called Weld. It is the one that looks like a circle welded to a triangle. Once you weld them, they become just one tag with no hole in it. And that is how to get rid of the hole. It is such a fun ScanNCut hack. Isn't that just an easy hack? And you might just like it just like that and you want to punch holes yourself. That's fine. You might just say, I don't want them, because there's a lot of great tag punches from ScanNCut. Or no, from Stampin' Up, I mean. You might want to make your own holes. But in this case, I don't want to make my own holes because I have a ScanNCut. I want to make a hole that is smaller. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. You can do what you want to do, but I'm going to go click OK, and I'm going to add a circle again. And I'm just going to make a smaller circle. I'm going to get a pattern. I'm going to get a circle. And again, you can rewind this and watch what I did. Go down to get the circle. And this time, I'm going to make the circle 0.6. Now, because I'm changing the height and width at the same time, I'm doing that because this button is checked. That button is making sure that the height and the width are changing in proportion. It's a circle. If yours are not changing in proportion, check that you don't have that button suppressed. So we're going down to 0.6. Okay, now 0.6 is still really big, but not when you have a 9-inch tag. Okay, not when you have a 9-inch tag. Okay, so let's go and get that 0.6 and put it there. Now we're just going to eyeball it and put it about right there. Or, maybe even up. It depends. Do you like the hole near the top of the tag? I kind of like it near the top like that. But not too close to the top because it could rip, when you have something too close to the top, you could rip it with your ribbon. So that looks pretty good. But to be sure, we want to align the circle to the tag. Now these are 2 separate objects because we put them together. We're going to go Edit, Select All again. Select All. This is the second option for select. Okay. Now this time we're using the alignment tool. The alignment tool right here. And we are going to go up to this alignment, and we want to align these to the center of each other. This one right here. It's 1, 2, 3 down on the left. Now you might say nothing happened. That's because they're pretty much aligned already. But if you want to be sure that the circle and the tag are aligned to each other, you can use the alignment inside the edit. Now there you go. So we're going to click OK. And now, if I were to move this tag right now, the circle would stay behind and they would not be grouped together and it would be a hot mess. So be sure to go to Edit and Object Edit. And this time, instead of welding the two shapes, we want to group the two shapes together. Group. And now we have a tag with a reasonable sized hole. Okay, and now I get to show you what we did. And before I move on to the next stage of this tutorial, I want to add pattern, right? Tag. This is down here in the shapes. The second tag. Make it 9 inches and just get to show you what we fixed. Okay, it's just so you really understand what we did here and why we did it. All right, let's do it. 9, 9. And I like the little audible beeps. It helps me. Do, 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 do. All right. Look at that. This is what we would have had. And this is like, it just looks ridiculous. And this is what we have now. Okay, our tag looks better. Our hole is up higher. Our hole is smaller. Our hole is in proportion. We don't need this guy anymore. I just wanted to show you that, though, so you understand what we did. So let's go ahead and, delete that. Edit, delete. Now, I did it. I like to work whenever I have something to do on the machine, as opposed to using Brother Canvas Workspace software. When I'm working on the machine itself, I like to enlarge things and work when the object's really big. But let's just scale it back down now because it's ridiculously large tag, unless you're trying to make a tag on like a pillowcase or something, or a giant goodie bag. This tag's too big for us. We're going to go into, wait, let's just show what we did. We selected it, we went to Object Edit, and we want to go to this first one, which is Resize. And this time, instead of resizing by just using the inches, I'm going to resize by percentage. I'll put this in the notes later. And we're going to resize by, I made it 35% of its original size. I'll tell you what size that actually is, and maybe Janet could put it in the notes. What matters is the final size. 35% of its original size. That now it's the size that we made the other tag. Okay, and let's go look at what size it is. Here it is. We're going to go in here. It's 3.14 by 1.57. Okay, 3.14 by 1.57. Before I cut that out, I'm going to background scan to make sure I'm not cutting on top of the old one that I just had a minute ago. So let's use this background scan option. This is the background scan, and it's just going to scan my mat in so that I don't cut right on top of this other tag that I've already have there. Another fun feature. Go ahead, you got your pre-order, Kathy? I'm jealous. I still don't have my pre-order, and I ordered it like at midnight, right as the thing went live. Well, of course, it probably took me an hour to do the pre-order, but still not here yet. All right. Yes, Kathy's saying it feels so good to have my favorite stamps going to a new home where they'll be loved. Yes, and then after a while, everyone's going to say, I've been buying too much of your auction stuff. I need to have a sale. And then they're going to want to have their own craft sale. All right, so that's what it's in a good spot. It's telling me that that's the background. And then I'm going to make the background lighter. Like this is the background scan. Oops, I don't want to do it. And then the settings, I want to make the background a little bit lighter. All this is showing me is where the black cardstock is right now. Background scan is very useful because when I cut my tag out, I don't want to cut it on top of the tag that was just there earlier. That's a good spot. And let's go ahead and make, it's pretty good. I'll just go like that and I'll make 2 of them. Or just go edit, object edit. I'm going to go to make 2 of these. Plus, I'm just going to make 2 tags. Or do we actually have a lot to decorate. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to make boxes. The rest are going on my boxes because my next tutorial is about boxes on my channel. I'm going to show you guys how to make this box. And I'm going to nudge this one a little bit. Click OK. I'm going to use these arrows to nudge it over. So that's using arrows to nudge it. You can actually nudge things in the software as well. Yeah, I like that. That's good. We're just going to cut out 2 tags, and we're going to cut just to decorate them, and then we'll be done with that. But then I can still have some other critters for my boxes. So when I do my box tutorial, now I could turn on my light now because it doesn't matter, because I'm not scanning anything. In fact, it didn't matter the whole time I was working on that. So this time I'm going to open up my petunia pop ribbon, the iridescent ribbon, because we're going to use some of that. If you want, you can iron it if it has any little wrinkles. It looks fine to me. Okay, so how was the pace of that? Do you guys understand it? Do you need to watch it again? Or are you just like, I got this, I can do this? Or are you super advanced and said, I just did it as you did it? Hey, Karen, nice to see you again. I still have your cats, Karen. You'll know what I'm talking about. Not your real cats. But when you get a package and it didn't have the cat inside, you'll know what I'm talking about. All right, so there is the tag. And again, I lost that little spatula. And it's always good to have a little spatula, but you can also bend the mat to get things off. Okay. And there we have it. Aren't these perfect little tags? Let's unload the mat so we can make these, decorate them. All right, bringing back our critters. Now this one's for my box, so he's a little too big, right? I didn't measure, just so you know what we're doing, just so you can see. This is what we're doing. We're making these little tags. You're either using them for your treat bags or they're ready to go on their own. This time we're gonna put one on a wobble. And what else? We're just gonna put, we don't need to put one on a bag. You already saw me make a bag. I'm just gonna decorate these tags. So let's see. This little guy's different, so we'll use him. And yeah, this is fantastic. We'll use that little guy again. All right, so we're gonna just first get our sentiments out. And some of these are already inked up, so we'll just, all tricks, no treats. And I think I want one of those Don't Worry, Eat Sweets again. I have a Don't Worry, Eat Sweets. All right, but I think I might want to make a new one of those because that's not the best stamping that I've done in a while. So inside your bag, if you got the Halloween kit, you have these little, strips that you can stamp onto. I don't know if this is going to be a flat surface, but this will be. We'll put it down, maybe down there. Okay, so I want to use a little bit of, well, first we'll just do the black part. And then I'll do like the little pumpkin pie on top of it. When you have such a long sentiment, Don't Worry, Eat Sweets, you need to use your stamp upside down. Oh, that's nice. But it's like it's too wide for the tag. Yes, so that's why we cut it. Oops, that one is a little bit extra. Hopefully there's not too much Memento Black on there. All right. Looking good. So now for this one, I'm going to put a little bit of pumpkin pie on there. And bring it back up here where you can see what I'm doing. Tap it on there. And first you're going to go out to the edges. Like that. Tap, tap, tap. And then flip it around. Get a little bit more ink. Oh, I'm already getting ink on that part. I'm having a messy crafting day, but it's all good. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is put some in the middle, right like there, because I'm cutting this in half. Okay. All right, there we go. Now we're going to go Close that. There's always a method to my madness. And you're probably like, what the heck is she doing? I'm just doing that. I'm keeping the comma. Don't worry, eat sweets. And I'm just doing that. I'm not making this at an angle or anything. Just cutting a little banner. Okay. And then this one, same thing. So that one might need, that one needs a little more orange on there. I didn't put the orange in close enough. The orange meaning the pumpkin pie. All right, good, good. And now we're going to get our tags. And always do that part first. We'll do the don't worry. And what I did for the eat sweets, I put the eat sweets down. And then the don't worry. Let's see. I put the don't worry up and I put the eat sweets down. So let's see. That's going to go right like that. So I'm going to go like that. So this is my placeholder. Leave that like there. Leave the little guy. And then you're going to take this guy and put, when I say down, meaning he's not popped up, he's going to go under him a little bit like that. So you're not cutting off the text. You're just making room so that both of these layers fit. Okay, now you can put that guy on there. Okay, this is the reason I'm showing you the whole craft, because I don't want you to be like, how come mine doesn't fit like hers fits? Well, you might not notice from a picture, but we'll take a picture too. I'll put it in the VIP group. I'll put it in the Brother ScanNCut Facebook group and all that when I'm done here taking pictures. Get that little bit of adhesive under there. Okay, good. And then for that one, we pop it up. Don't worry. Eat sweets. And then I'll see if the other one's going to say, all tricks, no treats, or if it's going to also say, don't worry, eat sweets. Because these are going to go on a bag of sweets, so I think it's probably going to say, don't worry, eat sweets. Okay, so that's up. Okay, now we're going to take yay much, and we'll angle it later, and we'll take some of the gold and the same amount. Okay, we're not going to angle the gold part later. We're just going to angle the twisting them together. Then you can get them through the hole easier. We'll angle the petunia pop, but we don't angle the gold because it looks better flat. See how much easier it is to go through the hole? Our perfect sized hole. Oh God, that doesn't sound right. Okay, my AI bots are going to caption it and be like scratching their little digital heads. All right, there we go. Isn't that adorable? And all you need to do then is just trim. That one already has a little bit of an angle. And I like to either put, you could put like some fray check, or just, sometimes just putting glitter on the ends keeps it from fraying a little bit. But even if it doesn't keep it from fraying, it can fray because it's, oh, look at that. That's cool. I got a big blob of glitter. I was trying to get a big blob of glitter. This is when I actually wanted a big blob of glitter. So, because it actually keeps everything it keeps the ribbon from fraying all over the place. All right, so that's good. Now, then you could also tie some twine on that one as well. And now this one, let's see. We have, this one might fit this one across. All tricks, no treats. Yeah, that's going to, and I'll just save this little, don't worry, eat sweets for later. And we might even be able to fit a little crow on that one, because there's a little bit of room. We could see if we could fit a crow. Okay, before you seal it all the way, you could kind of check that. Yep. Oh, pretty good estimate. It's centered. This one's smaller, this little critter, so you don't need to worry about him as much. I think we need to put a crow on here. Maybe even 2 crows on there. Where are all my crows? I thought I cut out a bunch of them. They probably are all stuck in the machine like when Kathy noticed them earlier. They're probably inside the machine. Oh, he's so cute though. All right, so this one's gonna go on a wobble. And I would put, if there's a crow facing that way, I'd put one over there. Oh, maybe I could find a crow or a bat. Let's see what's still in here. Or, oh, a candy corn. I'm just going to use a candy corn from this little guy, okay? From this little sheet of... Now, whenever you take stuff off a sheet of ephemera, you always trim it down or use a little nail file because there's little nibs, and you want to make it look like there's, you don't want to have the little nibs. This is shaping up. I'm using the whole suite. I'm using the designer series paper, the stamps, everything but the dies. There's dies that go with this. Okay, so for the wobble, when I use wobble springs, I take the flat side. There's a flat side, and then there's like a heavier duty side. I take the flat side first, and I put that on the critter. And I don't know, I've never really had instructions. That's just what I do. Because it seems to hold better because it's a big flat surface. And I go like that. I lay it down, and I go and I put the critter on it. Okay? And then we have a little backing. Pull that off. Put it on your tag. Push down. And then you have a fun, super interactive tag. Oh my gosh. It's so cute. Now this one, let's see what we have. Let's see if we have any of the more of the gold ribbon. I will show you what's in this box. If you guys want to stay around, I'll show you. And I'll show you some more Halloween crafts as well. All right, if I don't have any more gold, we're just going to use... Let's see what's on. What do I have? This is no... I have like a different kind of gold, but not that. But this will be cool looking. This is like some creepy kind of looking ribbon. It's not creepy, but it's like some twine. Like wavy trim or something. I've been using different kinds of... In my card clubs, in my workshops, I do use some stuff that's retired as well. Not just, stuff that's current, because sometimes I find really cool ribbon. So I'm taking the petunia pop, and I can go ahead and do the angle now. I'll try to do the angle. Okay, well, it'd probably be better if we use a little. Now you could take this thing and you could take the ends and kind of open them up a little. All right, lay them out. So basically, I'm just trying to say use whatever you have, right? Use whatever you have and make some beautiful tags with all the ribbons you have. Every crafter has ribbon. Every crafter has bling. Oh, we can even add some little bling to this too. We'll add bling. Every crafter has glue. And so even if you don't have the exact same products I have, you can make tags for a different occasion if you're not into Halloween. You got to get them all through there. And then when you do a lot of multiple tag layers like this, you just have to kind of wiggle it just a little bit because you don't want this stuff to be, you don't want to like rip anything. Oh, he's so cool. This side is a little bit short. Short. I love it. And then I could tie one set on the bag and let the other side hang out. So this, I'm just going to cut the little angles. Oops. It'd probably be better to use the other, like I said, the fray check, but anything on the end of the ribbons works better than nothing. All right. And did we put Wink Estella on the little critters? We did. We sure did. This just has to be straightened out a little. Like I said, sometimes it just takes a little bit of like ironing. Like sometimes I use my little, on this channel, my little Cricut heat press, the one I use for vinyl. This is also in my Amazon store. Hello, Melissa from Texas. Nice to see you. Diana's saying adorable. Love it. All tricks, no treats. No tricks, all treats. Oh, I do. Thank you. I didn't even notice that, T. Now you got me Now you got me thinking that I've been saying it wrong the whole time. No tricks, all treats. T's saying it's funny that I keep saying all tricks, no treats. I know, I read it wrong. Isn't that funny? I'm just reading it wrong. Oh, you know what? I'm reading it backwards. I'm reading the big letters first. See, this is how my mind works. I do everything sort of like out of order. I do everything out of, okay, so I was reading the big line first. I was saying it right, but I thought I was saying it like, well, it doesn't matter. I will try to, I will try to look at what I'm doing from now on, which will last for like a hot second. All right, so let's see. We're going to open this box, okay? I made it so I could open it easier. So we have, and we're going to put some, I would say we're going to put some bling on there. All right, so we have some of these little stars. These are just little stars that come with the part of the suite, guys. They're little puffy star stickers. It'll give us a little pop of purple in that one. And we're going to use another white one. Okay, just so you can see what that looks like. That's really cute, just to put some stars on them. All right, like I did for this one. And just to kind of give you an idea, we're going to be making this box. I use a sticker from like the Dollar Tree or somewhere on the inside of the box. We're going to use Petunia Pop cardstock, and we'll make this on the channel. And inside the box, you have Ginger Chew, Werther's, mini Tic Tacs. These are things I sent you, some candies I sent you. I sent you Swedish Fish, but I think I ate all the rest of the Swedish Fish. Pez Sours. So now you could just put some gummies in there. And a squishy eyeball. A squishy eyeball. Not edible, just a squishy eyeball. So that's what's going into the box. And now I'll show you the rest of the Halloween treats as we finish up. So I'm glad you got to see the advanced section on how to do this. Where's my little, I have this little piece. I know I have, here we go. So for this one, I'm not tying too tight. I would normally tie it in a bow, but since I'm going to be untying it for my tutorial on how to make boxes. Now we're going to be using the Simply Scored tool to make the boxes. We're going to be actually making them. Although you can use the ScanNCut to make boxes, and I've shown that many times on this channel and in my courses. This particular box we're making with the Simply Scored. So here's what we made for this with the ScanNCut though. Happy Halloween with the wobble spring. This is the one I made as a sample. And then we made this one together. I could tell because it has the 3 layers. No tricks, all treats with the little the little ring. Okay, we have Spooky. And this one I originally made with the extra layer of black, but of course you couldn't see it on a black tag. So that was a really good idea to put the orange in there. And then we have this one with the 3 layers. And then this one with the 3 layers and the wobble spring. So that is what you do with the skills you just learned. And now I will show you some more Halloween treats. This one is part of a kit that we have offered this month. And I don't know how long it'll last because last year we had our Halloween stuff go in a heartbeat. But you can get a no stamping kit, meaning all of the sentiments are on there for you. You get twine, you get paper clips, you get stars, tags, multi-layer tags, and boxes. And I'm not opening this up because I already did it on my channel. But you get 15 milk cartons in that kit. I think it's called Spooky Sweet Kit. So check that out on in my store, my Stampin' Up! Store. Okay, here's a card we made where I colored with the Stampin' Blends the little monster. Well, he's a dog, but he's a little monster. Someone said he looks like a cartoon dog. I think he looks like a little monster. And this is where you can use the dies. There's a haunted house die. This is the same designer series paper we used today, the specialty paper called Spooky Sweet. Wait, I think this is called Sweet and Spooky Kit, but the paper's called Spooky Sweet. And this is a pumpkin pie vertical card. So I didn't put anything in the inside yet. But there's a couple, you can put, let's see. You could put, don't worry, eat sweets on the inside of the card, or spooky, no tricks, all treats, or you could just leave the inside blank. Okay, and then, let's see. These are little, you can buy these already made. These, well, not made, but they're flat. They're called the suitcase treat box. Okay, so here's what we made on my channel. I showed you how to assemble the box and how to decorate the box. And I also showed you what was in the box, so I'm not going to do that again. because these are already sealed and ready to go. All these are going to go to good homes at Halloween time. You know, my hubby's coworkers and stuff like that. My friends, doctor's office, things like that. This one was made with the Halloween Spells Designer Series paper. But still the little critter from the ephemera part of this paper. And of course, my sample that I tried too. Okay, she's saying I ate the candy. What did I eat? I probably did eat the candy. Oh yeah, she's saying she can't. Kim's being sneaky, Elaine's saying. That I did show you all the treats in the other video. I'm not it's actually still full. I don't want to open it again. But let's see if I have this one now. I know, even this one. This one has Tic Tacs in it. This was my swap. So we're making, for the card club this month, we're using this stamp set. And we're going to be making we're going to be using Embrace the Journey and making a little card, like a travel card. So with the same kind of, some of this paper. So everybody, all the card clubs have gone out. Every one of them Halloween treat kits have gone out, except for, actually 2 Halloween treats have not gone out. But every one of the card club kits went out. And now we'll just work on the next event, you know. I'll start working on the next event, like bingo or something, after my next sale. All right, so I appreciate you all watching today. I hope you all join Whatnot and come to my next live auction and get your $15 coupon. And then I get a $5 coupon, and we're all just going to enable each other to buy more craft supplies. That's how it goes. Thank you all for watching. This is the Paper Chef. Have a great evening.